The shocking protein that beats eggs. Now the title of today's video might have made you raise an eyebrow. Better than eggs? For decades, eggs have been praised as the ultimate protein, the gold standard for muscle and strength. Some of you may be nodding in agreement, thinking, of course, eggs are perfect, nothing can top them. Others may already be skeptical, wondering if there really is a better choice. Well, let me tell you, what you're about to hear may completely change the way you think about protein after the age of 70. Because here's the truth. Eggs are good, yes, but they're not always enough for aging muscles. I've seen patients in their 70s and 80s who were eating plenty of eggs but still losing strength, still struggling to stand, still worried about falling. Then, after switching to other kinds of protein, their recovery, their energy, even their independence transformed in ways that shocked their families, and sometimes even me. And no, I'm not talking about expensive powders or strange supplements. I'm talking about everyday foods, sitting right in grocery stores, that science shows can outperform eggs when it comes to rebuilding and protecting muscle in later life. Before we dive into those 6 surprising protein sources, I have one small request. If you find value in this video, please take a moment to hit the like button, share it with someone you care about, and subscribe to our channel. Your support means the world to us, and it helps us keep creating more content that can genuinely change lives. So buckle up, because in the next few minutes, you'll discover proteins that not only defend your muscles against aging, but can also sharpen your energy, improve your balance, and maybe even add years of independence to your life. Ready? Let's begin. Number 1. Lentils, the quiet strength of plants. Lentils are truly one of those humble foods that carry an incredible amount of value, yet so many people overlook them. Just a single cup of cooked lentils gives you about 18 grams of protein, almost the same as 3 eggs, along with 16 grams of fiber, nearly all the folate you need for the day, plus generous amounts of iron and potassium. Together, these nutrients don't just support muscle health, they also keep your digestion steady, your blood pressure balanced, help prevent cramps, and protect against calcium loss. What's special about lentils is that, beyond protein, they come with unique compounds that fight inflammation, nourish healthy gut bacteria, and help your body actually use the protein you eat more effectively. That's something animal proteins like eggs or meat can't quite match. There's a fascinating concept called the gut-muscle axis. In simple terms, the fiber and resistant starch in lentils become food for the good bacteria living in your gut. These friendly microbes produce butyrate, a short-chain fatty acid that calms inflammation, improves insulin sensitivity, and most importantly, signals your body to build muscle more efficiently, sometimes boosting protein synthesis by as much as 30%. Think of it this way. A healthy gut lays the foundation for stronger muscles, even as you grow older. I remember a 74-year-old patient of mine with type 2 diabetes who often complained of fatigue. After I suggested adding lentil soup to his meals a few times a week, within just a few months, his blood sugar levels had improved significantly, and the best part was that he could brisk walk for half an hour each day without feeling winded like before. If you look at the so-called blue zones, those rare places in the world where people live healthy lives well into their 90s and 100s, you'll notice beans and lentils are always on the table. In Okinawa, Japan, in Nicoya, Costa Rica, and among the community in Loma Linda, California, people typically eat at least 1 serving of beans every single day. And that simple habit seems to shield them from chronic diseases, muscle loss, osteoporosis, and even memory decline. Isn't that a clear reminder that lentils aren't just a cheap source of protein, but also a secret to longevity? Another detail worth noting is folate. About 30% of older adults are deficient in this nutrient, and when that happens, the process of building new proteins at the DNA level slows down dramatically. Even if you eat plenty of meat or eggs, your muscles may not grow as they should. The good news is that by restoring folate levels, muscle strength can improve within just a couple of weeks, and lean mass can increase within 3 months. A single bowl of lentils already provides nearly all the folate you need each day. The great thing is lentils are easy to prepare and gentle on the stomach, even for people with weak teeth or sensitive digestion. A warm lentil soup with carrots, celery, and onions makes for a soft, nourishing meal. Lentil porridge cooked with brown rice or oats keeps you full longer while keeping blood sugar steady. For an extra protein boost, sprouted lentils are easier to digest and even more nutrient-dense. And if you're in the mood for something light, a lentil salad with fresh vegetables, olive oil, and a squeeze of lemon is refreshing and satisfying at the same time. My advice for anyone over 60 is to enjoy lentils at least 3 to 4 times a week. Pair them with whole grains so you get a complete protein, and add vitamin C-rich foods like tomatoes, bell peppers, or lemon to help your body absorb more iron. If you're living with chronic kidney disease, you'll want to check with your doctor first, since lentils are high in potassium. But for most people, this simple food is a true powerhouse. It doesn't just strengthen your muscles, it soothes the gut, supports blood sugar control, and most importantly, helps older adults feel more independent, energetic, and confident in their daily lives. Number 2. Hemp seeds, a handful of gentle power. Hemp seeds may be tiny, but they carry a quiet kind of power that makes them perfect for people in their later years. Just 3 tablespoons hold about 10 grams of complete protein, which means they have all the essential amino acids your body can't make on its own. What makes hemp protein unique is how familiar it feels to the body. Its structure is very similar to proteins found in human plasma, so digestion feels effortless. That's a big deal as we get older, when the stomach and intestines don't work quite as smoothly as they used to. Unlike a heavy steak or even eggs, hemp seeds slip in gently, giving your muscles what they need without weighing you down. But the story doesn't end with protein. Hemp seeds also bring along a balance of healthy fats that is rare in the modern diet. Their omega-6 to omega-3 ratio sits at about 3.1, close to ideal for calming down the low-grade inflammation that creeps into joints and muscles with age. On top of that, they contain GLA, a special kind of fatty acid that turns into compounds that ease muscle soreness and stiffness. There's real science behind this. A study in the Journal of Clinical Nutrition in 2020 found that adults over 65 who added hemp seed oil to their diets reported about a 32% drop in muscle soreness after gentle exercise. That's the kind of change that can mean the difference between staying active or slowly giving up the activities you love. I think often of John, a retired school teacher in his late 70s. He adored gardening, but shoulder pain made it impossible for him to prune his roses or tend to his vegetables. Painkillers left him foggy, and physical therapy wasn't enough. When we added hemp seeds to his daily routine, sprinkled over his morning oatmeal, blended into a smoothie in the afternoon, things began to shift. 6 weeks later, he walked into my office smiling. "Doctor," he said, "I trimmed my roses yesterday. For the first time in years, it didn't hurt." That small, ordinary joy carried more weight than any lab result ever could. Nutrition experts share this same appreciation. Andrea Giancoli, a registered dietitian and former spokesperson for the Academy of Nutrition and Dietetics, has said, "Hemp seeds are one of the few plant foods that deliver a complete protein with an anti-inflammatory fat profile. That combination makes them uniquely suited to support healthy aging. And the numbers tell us why. 3 tablespoons of hemp seeds provide nearly half the daily magnesium older adults need, yet surveys show more than 80% of Americans over 60 aren't getting enough. Low magnesium often shows up as muscle cramps, restless sleep, and fatigue. The very things that make it harder to stay independent as the years go by. There's also arginine, an amino acid abundant in hemp seeds. Arginine relaxes blood vessels, improving circulation so oxygen and nutrients reach muscle fibers more easily. It even stimulates the release of growth hormone, which naturally declines with age, but is still crucial for muscle repair and bone strength. Put simply, hemp seeds help keep the blood flowing, the muscles fed, and recovery on track. What makes all of this even better is how easy hemp seeds are to enjoy. No cooking, no fuss. Just sprinkle them over yogurt, stir them into warm oatmeal, or toss them into a smoothie. They have a mild, nutty flavor like fresh sunflower seeds that blends right in. Start with a spoonful a day, then work your way up to 3 once your body gets used to them. It's a small habit, but one that quietly supports strength, steadiness, and vitality. For many of my patients, these tiny seeds have become a simple, daily ritual, a little sprinkle of resilience that helps them feel steady on their feet and more at home in their own bodies. Number 3. Wild salmon, the protector of muscle and heart. Wild salmon has a kind of quiet magic that makes it stand out from so many other protein sources, especially for people in their later years. Every serving delivers not just around 22 grams of high-quality protein, but also a generous dose of omega-3 fatty acids, EPA and DHA, that go far beyond feeding muscles. These fats actually weave themselves into the membranes of muscle cells, keeping them flexible and responsive, almost like oiling the hinges of an old door, so it swings smoothly again. As the years pass, inflammation works like rust, gradually stiffening tissues and slowing recovery. Omega-3s step in to undo some of that damage, protecting muscles from the wear and tear of aging, while also strengthening the heart. I remember one of my patients, an 82-year-old woman who had started to avoid walking outdoors because she feared falling. Her balance wasn't what it used to be, and her legs felt weak and unsteady. We began adding wild salmon to her meals twice a week, grilled gently with lemon and olive oil. 3 months later, she told me she felt confident enough to stroll around her neighborhood again, something she hadn't dared to do in nearly 2 years. Her story echoes what research has shown. In a University of Washington study, older adults who ate the equivalent of salmon 3 times weekly gained about 6% more muscle mass without changing their exercise habits. Even more impressive, their bodies became more sensitive to all kinds of protein, making everything they ate work harder for them. Salmon also offers something that eggs and many other proteins lack: vitamin D. Just 1 serving of wild salmon can provide close to 1,000 IU, helping not only with calcium absorption for strong bones, but also directly stimulating protein synthesis within muscle cells. Studies suggest that correcting vitamin D deficiency can increase muscle strength by up to 20% in older adults, a boost that can make everyday activities, climbing stairs, standing up from a chair, feel so much easier. And then there's astaxanthin, the antioxidant that gives salmon its beautiful pink color. It's been found to be thousands of times more powerful than vitamin C at fighting free radicals, protecting mitochondria, the tiny batteries inside cells, so endurance lasts longer and fatigue doesn't set in so quickly. There are practical reasons to choose wild-caught Alaskan salmon when possible. Compared to farmed varieties, it contains higher levels of omega-3s, more vitamin D, and natural astaxanthin instead of synthetic dyes. It also tends to carry fewer contaminants, making it a safer choice for regular meals. Of course, fresh fillets can be expensive, but canned wild salmon is an excellent alternative. The soft bones in the can are edible and add a valuable source of calcium, and when mixed with a little Greek yogurt and herbs, it becomes a protein-packed spread that also supports gut health. For older adults, 2 to 3 servings of salmon each week is a realistic and powerful way to build resilience. Whether gently baked, steamed, or turned into a simple salad, wild salmon brings more than just flavor. It brings confidence, stability, and energy. For someone trying to stay strong and independent after 70, that's not just food on the plate. It's a quiet form of protection, a way to keep the body moving with grace and the heart beating steady. Number 4. Whey protein, flipping the growth switch. Whey protein is often called the switch that can turn muscle growth back on, even when age seems to be working against us. What makes whey so powerful is its unique combination of speed and strength. It's packed with leucine, the amino acid that acts like a trigger for muscle building. While an egg might have around 1.3 grams of leucine, a single scoop of whey can deliver nearly double that, bringing the amount closer to the 3 grams older muscles need in a single dose to wake up their growth pathways. For someone past 70, that difference is enormous. As we age, the window of time when muscles are primed to use protein shrinks. In youth, a meal can keep protein synthesis elevated for hours. After 70, that window may last only a short while. To truly spark new growth, the body needs a fast, concentrated rush of amino acids, and that's exactly what whey provides. Within about an hour of drinking it, amino acids flood the bloodstream, reaching the muscles right when they need it most. Eggs and other proteins take 3 to 4 hours to digest, and by then the opportunity for growth may already have passed. I recall a patient of mine, a 92-year-old woman who had always loved tending her flower beds, but had begun to lose the strength in her arms. She added a whey shake to her breakfast routine, blended with frozen berries and a dash of cinnamon. After 3 months, she came back to tell me she could once again carry her watering can without strain. Her story reflects what researchers at McMaster University found. In adults over 75, whey protein stimulated nearly 2 times more muscle protein synthesis compared to eggs, even when total protein intake was the same. Journal of Applied Physiology, 2015. That kind of difference isn't just about numbers, it's about restoring daily function and independence. Experts have weighed in too. Dr. Stuart Phillips, a leading protein metabolism researcher at McMaster University, explains, older muscles are resistant to growth. To overcome that resistance, you need a strong, rapid rise in blood amino acids. Whey protein is uniquely suited to deliver that. This is why many clinicians now recommend whey as the first choice for seniors struggling with muscle loss, rather than simply advising them to eat more eggs or meat. Whey isn't just about muscle either. It contains immunoglobulins, natural antibodies that soothe hidden inflammation in the gut, something that often interferes with protein absorption in older adults. It also has glycomacropeptides, compounds that improve insulin sensitivity, which means more of the protein you eat actually gets directed to the muscles rather than being stored as fat. This makes whey particularly valuable for older adults who are balancing conditions like type 2 diabetes or insulin resistance. In fact, a study published in the American Journal of Clinical Nutrition, 2017, showed that whey protein supplementation improved post-meal insulin response by up to 30% in older participants compared to other protein sources. For those sensitive to lactose, whey isolate is the best choice since nearly all the lactose has been removed, leaving just the protein. For others, whey concentrate can be an excellent option, offering a few additional immune-supporting compounds. Either way, mixing whey with cold liquid helps protect its structure, and drinking it soon after preparation ensures maximum benefit. Pairing it with antioxidant-rich fruits like berries not only adds flavor, but also protects the protein during digestion, while cinnamon has been shown to improve insulin function by nearly 20%. For seniors who enjoy light exercise, like walking, yoga, or resistance bands, whey can make all the difference in how quickly the body recovers. Muscles rebuild faster, soreness fades sooner, and energy returns more easily. It's a simple habit, but one that flips on the body's natural repair system. For many older adults, a daily scoop of whey isn't about chasing big muscles. It's about protecting independence, moving with confidence, and finding the strength to keep doing the everyday things that bring joy. Number 5. Cottage cheese, muscle's nighttime friend. Cottage cheese has long been a quiet favorite among nutritionists, and for good reason. It works in ways that go far beyond simple nourishment. What makes it so special is its rich supply of casein, a protein that digests slowly and steadily. Instead of rushing into the bloodstream like whey does, casein releases amino acids gradually, feeding the muscles for 6 to 8 hours. For older adults, this is invaluable. During the night, when the body often turns to breaking down muscle for energy, cottage cheese steps in like a gentle guard, protecting muscle tissue from being lost while we sleep. This slow, steady release of protein also has a surprising effect on rest itself. Studies from Maastricht University in the Netherlands found that older adults who ate cottage cheese before bed maintained a positive protein balance throughout the night, meaning their bodies were still building new muscle even as they slept. And sleep quality matters. Deep, restorative sleep boosts natural growth hormone levels, which in turn signals the body to repair tissues, strengthen bones, and rejuvenate energy for the day ahead. It's a simple cycle. Better protein leads to better sleep, and better sleep leads to stronger muscles. Nutrients in cottage cheese add to the story. 1 cup provides nearly 90% of daily selenium needs, and low selenium has been linked with fatigue and muscle weakness. It's also a solid source of calcium and phosphorus, 2 minerals essential for bone health and muscle contraction, as well as vitamin B12, which supports energy metabolism and proper use of protein in the body. For older adults who often struggle with chewing or digesting heavier proteins, cottage cheese is soft, easy to eat, and requires no cooking at all. I once worked with an 80-year-old man who had begun waking up stiff every morning, feeling weaker as time passed. We added a small bowl of cottage cheese before bedtime, mixed with a spoonful of ground flax seeds and a handful of walnuts. Within a few weeks, he noticed he wasn't as stiff when he woke up, and his sleep felt deeper and more refreshing. That simple bedtime snack became his favorite ritual, a comfort that nourished both body and spirit. Nutrition experts often highlight this benefit. Dr. Rania Makkari, a nutrition researcher, explained in Advances in Nutrition, 2019, nighttime protein, especially casein, has been shown to enhance overnight muscle protein synthesis and improve morning strength in older adults. Numbers echo the point. Research has shown that consuming 30 to 40 grams of casein before bed can increase overnight protein synthesis by nearly 22% compared to a non-protein snack. Cottage cheese is also wonderfully versatile. For those watching sodium, a quick rinse under water can reduce salt content by almost 40% without lowering its protein value. You can mix it with berries for a light dessert, blend it with honey and freeze it into a simple ice cream, or keep it savory by topping with chopped cucumbers and herbs. Each variation makes it easy to turn a functional food into something genuinely enjoyable. Adding cottage cheese into the evening routine may feel like a small step, but for many older adults, it becomes a powerful ally, supporting muscles through the night, nourishing the body with essential nutrients, and offering the comfort of a snack that feels both soothing and sustaining. It's not just food, but a gentle partner in the process of aging well, helping people wake up feeling more resilient, less stiff, and ready to take on the day. Number 6. Seitan, the wheat meat, with muscle-building bite. Seitan, often called wheat meat, has a way of surprising people the first time they try it. Made from vital wheat gluten, it carries an impressive 39 grams of protein in just 100 grams, rivaling some of the richest cuts of beef, but without the heavy baggage of saturated fat or cholesterol. It's low in fat, relatively light on calories, and because much of the starch and fiber have been removed during processing, it's easier to digest than many dense animal proteins. For older adults who may struggle with slower digestion, that makes seitan a practical, satisfying alternative. One of the greatest strengths of seitan is how well it fits into the diets of people looking to reduce or avoid red meat. For someone managing high cholesterol, heart disease, or simply wanting to keep weight under control, seitan offers the dense, chewy bite of meat while sidestepping the risks associated with animal fat. A study published in Clinical Nutrition, S. Pen, 2022, showed that seniors who included more plant-based proteins such as seitan in their diet preserved about 21% more lean muscle mass compared to those who ate a traditional mixed diet. That means this isn't just a filler food. It has a measurable impact on maintaining strength as we age. Of course, it's not perfect for everyone. Since seitan is made almost entirely from gluten, those with celiac disease or gluten sensitivity need to avoid it. But for many others, it can be a safe, versatile, and enjoyable part of a balanced diet. Its mild, savory flavor absorbs marinades beautifully, and its dense texture makes it satisfying in ways that tofu or tempeh sometimes are not. Cooking with seitan can be fun and creative. Sliced thin, it sautés quickly with garlic, ginger, and a drizzle of olive oil for a simple stir-fry. Marinated and grilled, it takes on a smoky, barbecue-like character that feels hearty and indulgent without the heaviness of red meat. Tossed with tomato sauce and roasted vegetables, it turns into a comforting Italian-style dish. Pairing seitan with vegetables high in vitamin C, like bell peppers, kale, or broccoli, boosts the absorption of the iron it contains, turning it into an even stronger ally for energy and endurance. I think of one of my patients, a 70-year-old man with a history of high cholesterol who had been advised to cut back on steak, his favorite food. At first he worried he would miss the flavor and satisfaction of meat, but after trying seitan, grilled with spices and served alongside a bright salad, he admitted, "I didn't think I could enjoy a meal without beef, but this feels surprisingly close." Over time, his cholesterol improved, and he felt less weighed down after meals. For him, seitan wasn't just a substitute. It became a bridge to healthier habits that still respected his love of food. Seitan may not have the fame of salmon or the gentle appeal of cottage cheese, but it brings something valuable to the table: high-density protein in a plant-based form that can help maintain muscle, support heart health, and keep meals satisfying. With a little creativity in the kitchen, it can stand shoulder to shoulder with more traditional proteins, offering a delicious way to age strong while embracing lighter, heart-friendly eating. So here's the big takeaway. Eggs aren't the only king of protein. In fact, there are at least 6 other sources that can be even more powerful when it comes to keeping your muscles strong after 70. With the right nutrition and a little bit of smart movement, you can not only slow down muscle loss, but actually build strength, stay independent, and feel more confident in your daily life. From my perspective as a doctor, my advice is simple. Eat a variety of proteins, mixing both plant and animal sources. Choose foods that are easy to digest and rich in vitamins and minerals. And don't forget to pair your meals with light resistance training or even just a daily walk. It doesn't have to be complicated. Consistency is what makes the biggest difference. Now here's my challenge for you. This week, try adding at least one of these new protein sources into your meals. Then come back and let me know in the comments which one you're starting with. I'd love to hear your stories. And before you go, don't forget to hit that like button. Share this video with someone who could use a little inspiration. And subscribe so you won't miss the next health tip that could transform your life after 70. Thank you for being here. And here's to living stronger, healthier, and more independent, no matter your age.